How to change the rear differential oil in an RXV. First, I always flip it to tow. Then what you're going to need is some 75/90 gear oil. The manual says Mobile 424, which is like a tractor hydraulic oil, but I find that this works just fine. You're going to need 25 ounces of that, and then 2 ounces of Positrack or your choice of limited slip gear additive. Some oils have it in it. I always add some. You're going to need a tube of gasket maker. This is that right stuff. It's a little bit more expensive, but I think it works a little bit better. And some brake cleaner, clean out. And then most important, you're going to need a fluid pump. It's about 10 bucks. This fits either on the quart size or gallon size buckets. And you'll need a 1/2 inch socket to pull all the bolts off to drop your differential cover. And that's the differential cover. Yours might be dirtier or cleaner than mine. You might want to clean it up a little bit. And what we're going to do is pull all the bolts off and drop the pan out. Get rid of the old oil. Clean it out with the brake cleaner. And we're going to fill it. This is the, they call it a drain plug. And then you may or may not have a vent plug on the top of your axle, which would be on the driver's side. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. Pulling all these bolts off, and I'll show you what it looks like after that. Alright, I got all the bolts out. I did open up the drain plug right there. Drained a little into the bucket. Pulled the bolts out. Tap the differential cover with a rubber mallet to free it up. Still kind of messy, that's why I have the cardboard box there. We'll spray the inside with brake cleaner, clean it all out. Use a razor blade to clean off the factory silicone gasket on both edges here and up there. And then we'll use the gasket maker to make a new gasket and bolt it back in. And follow the directions for your gasket maker. Here's the old oil, nice and sludgy color. Probably hasn't been changed ever because the clear silicone, I think, is what the factory uses. So we'll clean it up and go from there. Alright, we did the RTV gasket. Per the gasket directions, we bolted it back up hand tight till a little bit of it gushes out, and then we'll let it sit for an hour, come back with our torque wrench and torque it to 35 pounds. Okay, so bolted the cover back on. It's been about an hour and a half, 2 hours for it to dry. Follow the instructions and torque it back down. What I'm going to do now is jack up the left side a little bit just to help the liquid tilt down that way. I've got my gear oil pump. I already added 2 ounces of limited slip gear additive. Measure that out in a very fancy shot glass. I'm going to put this tube into the fill hole and pump until it starts weeping out, and then I'm going to throw the plug, which I have right here, ready to go. And then the remainder I'll fill in through the vent. There's another way where you can remove a wheel and fill it through the axle, but I want to try this way. And we'll keep filling it until it starts weeping out. And then switch to the vent cap on the left axle there. Alright, so if you just grab this vent cap from the axle and pull it straight up, it'll pop out. And then you can run your hose into it, clean it off before you do that so you don't get any debris in there. And start pumping in. Get the rest of the oil in there and you should be good to go. Check for leaks after about 24 hours, and if you don't have any leaks, you're done.